What's up guys, my name is Narskul and we're going to do a fruit bowl today. Today I have a kaki fruit. I'm not quite sure what they're called in America, but these are called a kaki or a Sharon fruit in Denmark. I'll find a thing and post it up there in post-production. We're going to try this. I've been watching a lot of Hookah today and I felt like doing a fruit bowl. So let's try this. But first I want to emphasize this, that a sharp knife is always more safe than a dull knife. I have a chef's knife right here, nice and sharp. And I have a small paring knife right here, nice and sharp. And to emphasize the sharpness, I have a sharpening iron right here. So we're going to find the rough edge and sharpen these knives up. Before we use them. Now to the fine edge. Needs a little bit more on here, I can feel. There we go, nice and clean. Small paring knife gets a chance too. Remember to do it at 11 to 15 degrees when you sharpen your knife. Nice and sharp. Okay, so I can put this iron away now, out of the frame. Now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to cut my fruit. So we're going to make an incision right here at the top of the fruit, close to where the seed is, nice and clean. See if there's any stem parts. There's not, because otherwise you could just do another cut. But there isn't, and of course I'm going to eat this while I smoke my bowl. So the sharp chef's knife goes away. And we're going to turn the bowl over and use an apple corer to core the inside of the bowl. So make sure it lines up nice and evenly. And then just make a nice and straight incision inside. Cored. As you can see, our kaki fruit has now been cored. Of course you can eat this. This is a fruit, you can eat the whole thing. Eat whole thing. So it looks like this now, and then we're going to cut a piece right here so that we can actually stuff our tobacco in there. So I'm going to take this up close to the camera, refocus real quick. That should be nice and in focus. We're going to make circular cuts into the meat, avoiding going into the rim. As far as I've heard, I haven't done this before, so we'll see how this turns out. Okay, so now it looks like this. I'm going to shave a little bit more off so we get a nice and even edge. It is hard to do this when you're trying to show people how to do this. I personally adore this fruit. It's, as far as I know, it's a Middle Eastern fruit. But I could be wrong, so it would be fitting that you stuff your hookah with this, or your shisha inside of it. So it now looks like this. I'm going to go grab some paper towels, which I don't have on the ready, and I'm going to go grab some steel wool that we also need. Steel wool has been acquired. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fluff it up and turn it into a ball. We're going to lower this. This is actually too big. Let's take some of this off. Nice and fluff it out. Turn it into a ball, just lightly compress it while you spin it around in your finger. Something like this, and then stick it inside of the hole. Now as far as I know, that's supposed to act so that the shisha doesn't fall through. Then we're going to take some paper towels. Have a nice new roll here. A couple of them. And wipe the inside to remove some of the juices. Like so. And then as we prepare our shisha, we're going to stuff it with some paper towels. At least that is what Hookah does, and I'm going to follow his video to the fullest because I want a good result. I'm going to eat some of this fruit. Delicious. Now, flavor-wise, kaki fruit is great. I love kaki fruit. I adore this fruit just as much as I probably adore my alien mini funnel. but it is a great, almost perfumey apple texture. I personally don't like apple flavored shisha. It's just something I don't enjoy. But I think I'm going to stuff it with some lemon flavor. And I might actually, let's change this up. What do I have of shisha I can use? This is coconut. Coconut is always great. Let's use some coconut. Coconut and is this mint? No, this is peach. Peach. No, let's just do straight up coconut. Let's do straight up coconut. Coconut's always great. What Hookah Buzz does is he chops it up with the knife, and I'm also going to do that because he does it. But my shisha isn't nakhla, and it's relatively dry, as you can see here. It is not as juicy as your normal shisha would be, because it's nakhla, nice and nakhla. Not going to focus. So this is quite a big bowl. So let's just take a nice amount of shisha. And let's run a knife through it. Once again, I'm going to tell you guys that a sharp knife is safer than a dull knife. So make sure that you sharpen your knife with whatever knife sharpening tools that you use. I happen to use a stone to sharpen my knives with. And then I happen to use this rod, the sharpening rod. Okay, I'm gonna dry my fingers off. Hopefully this thing's recording. Hopefully my voiceover is recording. It is. Here we go. And then we're going to put the shisha into the bowl. Light fluff pack. Nice and airy. Way too much shisha, but I didn't do a mix. So I should be able to save the shisha right back into my jar. There we go. Most of the shisha has gone into the jar. Some of the shisha on the table. That's not a big deal. Hands are white. Okay, then I'm going to take some heavy-duty foil, also known as grill foil, like so. Pull the tab, nice and fresh roll. I'm going to take the first bit off, and then what he does is he takes a nice large chunk. I'm going to do the same, but it's going to make noise. So something like that. And then I'm going to remove my cutting. Alright guys, so my battery just died, so I had to recharge that real quick. But I decided to clean up while that was recharging. So I also pressed the foil. This is a 4 times pressed foil of the heavy duty. And I made a little strip here for kind of a wind cover, which apparently you're supposed to do with these bowls. But we are supposed to take a glass and put our bowl on top of it, and then make sure that the foil is tight. And I know I'm using a lot of foil here. There we go. Smooth down the edges. Like so, and then you can poke your holes, but first we need to take some toothpicks. I am just going to take 6 toothpicks, and I'm going to snap them in half. Like so. Snap those in half. And then we're going to secure the foil with our toothpicks. Like so. You can snip them off. I'm probably going to do that with some snippers later. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your paring knife, nice and sharp, and then cut around the edges of the foil to reveal the fruit, so you can actually see the fruit. I think I might be cutting into the fruit here a little bit. Let's peel away and see. I am quite skillful with a knife, so hopefully not. Hopefully this is not the glass. Nope, we're far off. And remember that cutting foil with your knife will dull out your knife. So before you use it next time, you'll have to resharpen it. Okay, something like this. Now this isn't the prettiest thing I've ever seen in my life, but at least it's a thing, right? So let us zoom in on that. So that looks like this. Nice and khaki fruit bowl. And now the only thing we got to do is poke our holes. And then I'm gonna put it on a hookah and let's see how this thing smokes.